Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy back again with another one. And today, it's going to be a different kind of video right now. It's going to be a different kind of video because it's going to be, I want to publicly and say right now, apologies to someone. Like, yesterday, I went to my baby mama house and I seen my daughter and things, and then we actually sat down and talked for a minute. And it's all like, it's the first time that I realized how much my past and the things I did in my past affected her. You know what I mean? I knew it affected her, of course. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sorry, this is emotional for me. But anyway, I knew it affected her, of course, you know. But I didn't know how much until yesterday. So, like, right now, Diamond, I love you. And I want to say I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry for all the things that, you know what I mean, I put you through. And I'm sorry that it affected you the way that it did, you know. Like, you know, your dad loves you. And your dad, you know, I'm going to try to be. Stop stuffing your mouth. I'm going to try to be here for you. You know what I'm saying? I know I haven't been like the best dad. You know, of course, I thought I was a perfect dad. But like, I see now that, you know, I know that I wasn't, you know what I mean, the best dad that I could have been. Like, I'm sorry for you having to always look out for your little brothers when I was messed up drinking and, you know, stuff like that. Because, like, I notice now and I see now that, you know, you never got a chance to be a child. You know what I mean? I know you had to grow up fast because, like, you know, you took that mother role, you know what I'm saying, with your brothers, you know. Not saying me like your mom wasn't there or I wasn't there, but you know, when we was so busy focused, you know, we was so busy focused on ourselves and just being so selfish that we didn't see, or I didn't even talk about we. I'm just gonna talk about my point. I didn't see how much it really affected you, you know, and like I didn't see how lonely you was and how you feel like the whole world is against you, you know? And like, that's one thing that like, I don't want you ever to think that you're alone in this world. I know it probably feels that way, and it's my fault, you know what I mean, for that, because I haven't been there when you needed me, you know? So, like, it hurts me to my, you know what I'm saying, to my core to even know that you feel like that you're alone. But I understand why, you know, like I said, I haven't been the best dad. Like, you know, when you would come and you would try to hang out or just, you know, watch TV or something, I was always too busy on running the streets or doing this or doing that. I was never really there, you know what I'm saying, for you. And like I said, I noticed like now how much that really affected you, you know, and it hurts me to think that you don't know that I'm here. But like I said, I understand why, you know. I haven't proved, I haven't shown you that I was gonna be, that I have been here, that I was, you know, that I was, you know, was gonna be there. And I understand that. I said, like, I always thought I was a good dad, you know what I mean? But when I was drinking or whatever, of course I think I was a good dad, you know? Like, that's just the way it is, like, that was my standpoint in my mind. But like I said yesterday, when I seen you, I seen how hurt you really are, and how alone you really are. And all I can do now is move to the future and change that, always be there for you. And that's what I vow to do, from now on is if you need me, I'm gonna be there, and like, you don't have to act up to get attention from me. You know what I mean? Like, that don't, I'm not, I understand before maybe you had to feel like you felt like you had to, what I'm saying, act up or whatever, just act a fool just to get my attention or whatever, but that's not the case. And like I said, I understand too why you fight a lot, why you fight all, you know what I mean? Because that's all you've seen all your whole life. That's all you've seen growing up was me and your mom fighting all the time. And you was a strong, you was strong. You was a good sister, when me and your mom fight all the time, you would take the babies and, you would sleep with them. You slept with the babies. You slept with the babies for like most of your life, you know what I mean? Like, well, most of their life, I should say. That, you would go in there and they would probably be crying and all this. No, you're not getting out. I'm trying to talk for a minute. You ate all those already? It's alright. AJ's not here. But like I was saying, you was strong. You know what I mean? When I couldn't take care of your brothers because I was too capacitated or too, drinking so much or whatever, you made sure your brothers was taken care of. And I am so proud of you. I am very proud of you. And I'm sorry that I haven't noticed before how strong you really are, Like, it takes a strong person to do that. Like I said, you will always bring them in there, or you always go in their room and y'all always sleep together, or they were crying because me and your mom was arguing and fighting every day. You would take care of them. You would make sure they was all right, and like, when I, forget to make dinner or whatever, you were just making them some cereal or some noodles or, at, 12, 11 years old, 10 years old, like, that's amazing, and like I said, you shouldn't have had to do that. That shouldn't have been your job. You shouldn't have had to take care of them. That was my job to do that. But I commend you for that. Like, you are very strong and very smart. And I know you're going through a lot right now. I get it. And like, I want you to know that I know that I had a big part of that. You don't know what to do right now, and I get that. And like I said, I'm sorry, you have all these emotions and you don't know how to express them. And you want to say a lot of things, and I know that you're upset with me right now. I get that. You know what I'm saying? And you have every right to be upset with me right now. But like, all I can do is apologize and tell you that I see you. I see how smart you are. I see how courageous and how strong you are. And I want you to know too that, boy, I want you to know too that I would never replace you. You know what I mean? I know that it probably hurts you to see that, I'm doing better now, and I have a new baby, and I have one on the way, and you're probably thinking, well, why couldn't you be that person for me? You know what I mean? And I get that, you know, and I'm sorry for that too. You know, like, they just came along when I was getting better, you know what I mean? And actually, he came along. Boy, I'm talking. Stop being rude. And he came along and kind of like the end of it, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't see him born. I really didn't see him the first year. Now I'm getting to see him and all that. So, but it's not like I planned it that way. You know what I mean? So I know you feel like some kind of way. Like I said, like, why couldn't you be that person for me, just like you are for him, and you want to get better now? And I get all that. I get that. But sometimes, baby girl, it's like, sometimes it's just the way life, you know what I mean, plans it out. And like I said, I'm sorry if you feel like, oh, I want to choose them more or him more over you guys, you know what I'm saying, over you, because that's definitely not the case. You know, I love all y'all equally. You understand what I'm saying? I love all y'all equally. And it may not seem like that, and I'm trying my best to bring y'all around more, or even if I can, have you move in with me, you know? And I get that your mom don't trust me, and I get all this stuff. There's a lot going on, baby girl. So I'm trying, boy. I'm trying my best, you know? I'm trying my best to figure this out for you. You know, and like I said, I know I messed up, and I messed up a lot. You know what I mean? I can't really change the past. All I can really do is move forward. And like I said, now that I'm sober, I can see the hurt inside you that I didn't see before. And that rips my heart out. Yesterday when we was talking, and I see you changing to somebody that I don't want you to be either. Getting mad and going up to your room and listening to First Day Out by Grizzly. They prayed on my downfall. I get that. You know what I'm saying? And it may seem like, boy, you can wait a minute. And they prayed on my downfall. And I get that. You know what I mean? I get that you feel that way. And you shouldn't have to feel that way. You should be smiling, laughing, and having a good time right now. Like a kid should at your age. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that's where you should be right now. You shouldn't have to deal with all the things that you're dealing with right now. Bro, you're being rude. I'm trying to talk to your sister and you're being rude. Stop being rude. You don't have to get all the attention all the time. Talk to your sister, eat you some cookies, and chill out somewhere. Because now you're being rude. Chill out. Ain't nothing wrong with you. It's alright. Anyway. Like, you know, like I said, listen to that music, and ain't nothing wrong with that song, but I believe that you really feel like people are preying on your downfall, and that's not the way it should be. You know, like, I wanted to laugh when I heard you listen to that, but I know you was upset. You know what I mean? But I don't want you to turn into that person, like, all angry and feel like you're alone and nobody has your back or nobody loves you. You know, like I said, you should be outside playing with your friends and having a good time and enjoying life. And that's the way it should be. And I know for a fact that you went through so much. You know what I mean? And I know that's why you're angry. I know, and you feel alone. And like I said, I'm trying my best to try to change that, change that. If I can have you moving with me, I would. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get that standpoint. So I try to talk to mom about you coming over more and just, taking a break. You know what I mean? I know your brothers and stuff, be on you, your mom be on you, and and I don't want to see that because I know everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. I made mistakes. Your dad makes plenty of mistakes. But that your mistakes don't define you, baby girl. They don't define who you are. It's what you do after you make those mistakes. Stop stuffing your mouth. It's what you do after you make those mistakes. So that's what's important. And that's what matters to me. What matters to me is not the mistakes you made or all that. What matters to me is how you feel. What matters to me is your feelings. What matters to me is what I can do so you don't feel like you're alone. So you don't feel like nobody loves you. So you don't feel like you out here, it's just you against the world. That hurt me what you said yesterday about if you go to juvie, you want to move out and you just want to live on the streets and all this other stuff. Like, I don't, as your father, I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to, if you do have to go there, which I'm going to fight for that. I don't believe you need to go there. I think you just need love. I think you just need stability. I just think you need something that I never gave you. You know what I'm saying? Ever. That's what I think you need. I think you need to be able to have a safe place where you could be like, oh, I can call my dad and I can go to my dad's house and I know I can get a break. Because you've been fighting for so long and taking care of me, taking care of your brothers. When I was, drunk, me and your mom was fighting, you would tell me to come up to your room. Just get away from the argument, you know what I mean? Because you didn't want to, want us to get into it or me go to jail. And you done been so responsible for so many things that you should not been responsible for. And that's like 100%. That wasn't your job, to take care of the babies, to make sure they, to comfort them when they was crying because me and your mom was arguing, or make sure I got away from your mom, so, put me up in your room because, you know what I mean, so I wouldn't go to jail or something bad happened. That wasn't your job. That's not what you know what I mean? But you did that anyway. You took that initiative. You had to grow up so fast. Like I said, it's not even funny. And that is that right there hurts me to my core. And I didn't understand how much it affected you. I really didn't. But I understand now. I understand now. And like I said, I'm going to work my hardest. It don't matter what I have to do to make you feel like you don't need to do that no more. To make you feel like you have a chance in this world because you're smart. You are nice. You kind. You're beautiful. Like, you are amazing. And that's what you need to be. And that's what you get. You just need to be able to be Diamond. Just be Diamond. And do what Diamond wants to do. It's not your responsibility as a child, you know what I'm saying, to be an adult. All you should just have to do is just, play outside or whatever, just do your schoolwork. That's probably the only responsibility that you should have is doing, make sure you, boy! Is making sure that you just doing your schoolwork. That's it. That's the only responsibility you should have. I mean, if you want to You know what I'm saying? Take care of that baby or whatever, and then that's cool. But it shouldn't, you just should be able to relax and not have to worry. But I'ma see you when your papa goes to surgery. So you get to come over here and we get to spend more time together and we'll talk about that more. But I wanted to make this video because I want you to be able to play this back whenever you want. You know what I mean? And I want it to be known on national, all over the world, that I see you, baby girl. And I see what I did wrong. Boy, if you don't quit. Well, I see what I did wrong. And that I see that you hurt. And that I'm gonna fix that as much as I can. This boy is being loud. But, like I said, I see that you're hurt. And I see that you know what I mean? You feel like you're alone. And like I said, I am going to try to fix that. You're being rude. I quit. I'm gonna fix that as much as possible. And I have time for you, and like I said, it don't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. You can call me and I will be there no matter what. So I love you, and I'm gonna see you later. I'm gonna see you tomorrow actually when I come up there to do that challenge with those Mr. Beast bars. We have a little fun doing that. But I just wanted to let you know, I just wanted to make this video to let you know that your dad always loved you. And that your dad's sorry. Because your dad see that you hurt. And that was never right for me to do. That was never right for me to put you through that. But like I said, your dad loves you. I'm going to see you tomorrow. All right, baby girl. Love you.